Supoleng olengurani le Sidai Tv erabaye satomon enteiba engolong edurara Juma ontarikini tomon telava lioudo telari lonkalifuniare otikitamo obona kulolomon tonkoroki kaji Vivian Kanoi. Etejo seneta ile kaunti Narok olayanyiti le dama olekina egenarikino tenake imakini mbaa naipirta enkulupuoni te kaunti e Laikipia peemitokini aitorogonyi loopeny enkop tina kaunti eimaka lelo omon egira airo tedukuya ebunge Senate elimu ajo ekegilunore katukul eroruata nawaita det sirkali aibung orbunge liopa le Laikipia North Matthew Olelempurkel nejo meishaa katukul.
And on that note, I'd like to send my deepest condolences to the people of Laikipia who have lost their life because of this situation. Madam Speaker, but running away from the problem is not solving the problem. Madam Speaker, Laikipia, the reason why these pastoralists are moving from one place to another is because of the drought situation. Madam Speaker, if the President of the Republic of Kenya can declare drought as a national disaster and today orders Treasury to release 2 billion shillings to be able to deal with this issue, why would the elected senator from Laikipia see the problem? Madam Speaker, and I request to be given my time because I was interrupted when I was speaking. Madam Speaker, I want to be very categorical and say that the problem is that government is not doing what should be done to be able to solve this problem. We have the National Land Commission, which should be dealing with the issue as prescribed by the National Land Act, Section 15. It spells out the rules and sets deadline on when this problem should be resolved. So, Madam Speaker, this issue is not just an issue of people going crazy, going gaga, and going out there and taking guns and shooting people. There are people who are competing for pasture. And Laikipia, Madam Speaker, is where a lot of people, pastoralists, go to seek for pasture. How do you explain, Madam Speaker, having someone with 200,000 or 300,000 acres of land when the original inhabitants of that land do not have any land? Madam Speaker, I really want to state it categorically.
I'm adding you 2 minutes for the time that was taken by Senator. But you
on
need
this
to conclude.
note, I stand with the Honorable Matthew Lembrugel, who was arrested just for merely stating that this was our land. This was originally Maasai land. And that Maasais are not interested in the land. They are only interested with the green pasture. Madam Speaker, the problem we have can be resolved by the government sitting with the leaders and the local community to be able to address these challenges. Running away and pointing fingers and saying these people are crazy, or pointing fingers at the ministry and saying you should be bringing the military will not solve this problem. We have the law, Madam Speaker. The Constitution is a living document. Article 67 of the Constitution set out the Land Commissions Act. And it says clearly that they should advise Parliament on what should be done. There is a law, and I want to invite my brother to go and get the National Land Commissions Act and look at Section 15. It spells out clearly what should be done. So, Madam Speaker, unless we are willing to resolve this problem, or unless we are not willing to resolve this problem, then we will come here and point out fingers and say that our community is being fought. Let us stick to the rule of law. Let us look at what is happening. I want to thank the President for having recognized that the drought is a national disaster. We're not asking for people to fight on a daily basis. All we're asking for is for people to get food. Madam Speaker, I want to call upon the Ministry of Interior to sit down with these leaders, saying that this land is Maasai land. It should not be an offense that you are taken to court. It is historical. We know it. That land was occupied by the Maasais. It was taken away from them. So we will never be able to resolve this problem. Laikipia is having those challenges. Finally, Madam Speaker, let me reiterate, we have a legal framework. We've got a process. Arresting leaders will not solve the problem. The people of Laikipia, the pastoralists, need to be listened to. They need to sit down with them and find a solution. We cannot be fighting on this issue on a daily basis. This year is only evident because next year is an election year. That's why everybody is up in arms on that issue. Finalize, Madam Speaker, if you may allow me to.
Your time is up. I added you 2 more minutes.
1 more minute, please. Just the last.
You need to conclude, Senator Oledamo.
Madam Speaker, let me finalize by saying this. Although I disassociate myself from the sentiments of some of my colleagues on the position that the Ministry of Interior has taken, I just want to end by saying this, that in a mature democracy, which I think this is a mature democracy, leaders ought not to be arrested, but they need to be consulted in order for them to be able to speak to their people. In a mature democracy, this is the only part that I will associate myself with my colleagues. Leaders who are tasked with the responsibility of ensuring the security of other people would have resigned by now, because all this is happening in their watch. The challenges we have in this country is we are used to postponing situations. We've talked about ADC, Madam Speaker, in this parliament. There's thousands and thousands of acres of land in Matura, in Laikipia, Mutara. That land is historically something we call in Maasai Olokeri, a place where the Maasais keep it aside to graze their cows when there's a huge drought. What Matthew Lembrugel said, Madam Speaker, if I can reiterate, is that he's just saying this is a Maasai land. He did not say that now everybody should go out there and fight. So, Madam Speaker, I rest my case there, and I hope that we'll be mature enough to follow the rule of law.
Ora ketomba naipirta eseriani e kaunti ya Laikipia neton ake egira aipotu serkali kitok ele osho peyie enyok ailepunye eseriani teina kaunti pee mitoki iltung'anak aimaa enkironya teina kaunti e Laikipia. Ore egira airo te Narok, Lydia Ntimama nipotuo serkali neisul tena rishata etinyikua enkukuo olari loo 2022 elimu ajo enetipat oleng tenilepunyieki eseriani teina kaunti e Laikipia.
Really depressed and very shocked by the happenings in Laikipia. Watching the news, talking to people on the ground, it is a sad, sad situation. The government has taken some action, and having listened to the county commissioner, the regional commissioner, Natembeya, the work he's doing there is good. Maybe too little, too late. They've really waited all these years. I remember for years and years, Laikipia has been suffering. And most of the problems arise during the times of drought. That others come to insist on grazing their herd in places like this. Now it has gone to a place where the guns are technical. I don't even know the government whether they have those type of guns. The type of guns the bandits have are not guns that can be fought off carelessly. I heard that it is possible they will bring in the military. I think it's a very, very good thing. They need to bring in the military, quell those clashes, and kick out the bandits and look after our people. Security needs to be provided to our people. Our people are suffering. This is to talk about Laikipia, that you are now focusing on members of parliament and former members of parliament like Honorable Lembrugel. Surely where would Lembrugel get those type of guns? In this time and age, he's probably not even able to feed his own children, let alone buy guns for radicals or insist on wars. I want to say the government needs to do further investigations on this matter and create security for everybody. That is your job, a government for the people. This also goes to do with the Mau forest. In the Mau forest very recently, 2 young Maasai boys were slaughtered while they were herding their cattle. Peaceful. And some people just come in and cut off their throats. Why? Why would things like those be allowed to go unspoken, unchatted, unlooked after and untamed? Kwa hivyo ningependa kusema, jamani serikali yetu, pea wananchi wote security ilivyofaa, ilivyo haki ya wananchi. wananchi wote, wakubwa kwa wadogo, kila mtu anafaa kupewa security. It is almost like we are this is a prologue to the elections. When the elections come, there is war in Kenya. There is interclan fighting. There is fighting that goes on. Different tribes. I am suggesting, Kenya government, let us not let peace be destroyed by interests of a few. The interests of a few are stemming up things like where you have different levels of people in society. That is so wrong. That narrative is so wrong. You cannot use that narrative and hope for peace. Where you have some people who are called hustlers because they are poor, and others who are called dynasty because they've got wealth. In truth of fact, a person with a pro box, I don't know why he would be called a dynasty till his pro box is burnt down. Let us maintain peace. Let us love one another as Kenyans. Let us be together. Let us see our elections come through properly and be able to work together as a nation. Because you and I, we are Kenyans first.
Elimurkulio mona jonjere hitukuja kilo benka undurke jua dobe menyorake metoro siasa nini sulakidana rishare siasa natenyukwa enkuko kito kolare longalifuniere hotikiramare hitukuja kisilariko ko ingorulorika nova shatina kaunti Kajiado bejenya siasa wosotua onaboisho tena kaunti Kajiado. Naitabaiki nkoroki olomon le Satomon Enteiba tiatua Sidai TV Kaji Vivian Kanui.